Hello, everyone. I hope you are doing well. I decided to make this video about something that I am very passionate about. So, I'm sure a lot of my old-time friends know how much I loved drawing and art and all of that. But over time, I realized that my interests have been changing. There is still a part of me that really values a lot of those old things, but I noticed that my interests are becoming more religious. Now, I understand that religion is a very sensitive topic, and I just want to let people know that you are allowed to disagree with me. You are allowed to disagree with or not agree in God, Christianity, and I will not think any less of you because we can agree on different things, and that's totally fine. Something that I am very open about is um, maybe one day being a deacon or some sort of religious leader. I do want to help people and just help people to feel more connected. Now, even though I am Christian, I do admit that in our history, there have been a lot of churches who have failed to reach the people's needs. And so I don't want people to be afraid to come to me, and I don't want people to be afraid of being judged because it does not matter what your race is, your sexual orientation, or any of that, because I don't believe any of those things say anything about who the person is. I'm more concerned about how we treat each other. So I want to share some notes that I've made over the months because these are things that help me, and I want to just offer my kindness to others. And I hope you can be honest with me and just let me know what you think. And like I said, it's okay if you disagree. This is what I believe, but I don't expect others to believe the same things that I believe since everybody has free will. So, this is what I wrote: how I choose Christ and how I relate to Christianity. Something that really helps me with my challenges is religion, but I don't agree with everything in the Bible. First, I will explain what I believe religion is not. It is not anything to preach to others, since everyone relates to it differently. It is not an opportunity to be closer to God than others, since everyone is equal. And it is not an expectation to be perfect, since everyone makes mistakes. The way I personally relate to it is to improve certain qualities in myself that reflect my relationships. While we are all good people, we also have work to do. I like to follow virtues such as kindness, patience, forgiveness, and others so I can be a better person. That is how I relate to it, to try and try again as a way to earn the love of others. Now, for the rest of this note, I have what I believe 10 10 bullet points of just different things that I try to remind myself of, because when we uh because we all have challenges, and so when we feel ourselves getting negative, these are things that I like to come back to, because I believe when we do um fall down a path other than the one that serves us, it's usually because we're slowly forgetting our sense of self. And that's why I believe it's important to always remember who we are, what we offer, and how to serve others. So these are the bullet points that I have, things that I've worked very hard to apply. The purpose of life is to help people. This does not mean to solve people's problems and give them whatever they want, but to make sure they feel heard, validated, deserving, and to just show regular listening skills to them and value what makes sense to them rather than me. So, a phrase that I really like is, "It's not about me." I mean, it doesn't mean to think less of ourselves, but to think of ourselves less. So if I am working on trying to help another person, then it's a matter of trying to understand things through their lens. And that means things like asking questions, not making assumptions, not making interruptions, and to validate their experiences. So another listing is, a false Christian is someone who sees themselves as self righteous and calls out the sins of others. A true Christian is someone who sees himself as an honest sinner and looks past the sins of others and instead tries to understand them. It's about caring for people and not condemning them. Hate sin, but never hate the sinner. We can validate people without validating the sin. Yeah, because this is another thing that I'm passionate about. Because everybody sins, and so to call out other people's sins is kind of like saying that we are free of sin. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody gets hypocritical, and so why call out others when they do that? It's because we all do um, horrible things the older I get. And that's why I believe it's all about heart and intention. I mean, sure, there are times where we have to walk away and take space, but we can still love people regardless. I only judge people based on how they treat others and the work that they do on themselves, the efforts they make. Yeah, that's why I say it's all about heart and intention. I think of Christianity as building healthy relationships, whereas sin hurts those relationships. So if you stop and think about it, I mean, Christianity is a lot like building relationships, because it's about trying to build that connection with people and just help others to feel deserving. We can all contribute. Wait, did I skip a place? Oh yeah, I did skip one. Right. It does not matter who cares for me and who does not. What matters is that I care for them regardless, even if I can't be with them. Now, I'm not saying this is easy because, you know, there can be very hurtful things that people say, but it's a matter of still treating them as a person. Like, if somebody who has really, really hurt you bad, let's say they were like drowning in a lake, are you gonna just let them drown? No, you gotta go in and help them. You gotta still value their life, even if they do not value yours. We can all contribute in non material ways. All I want in life is to just help people smile and laugh. It makes them happy and makes me happy. People may hurt me in ways they are not aware, so it is my responsibility to judge them based on the heart and intention. Yeah, that's kind of like what I keep mentioning. Every person is responsible for their own path. So, in other words, I must allow some people to misjudge me and allow some people to hate me if that is what they choose. Only God has the right to judge them, not me. The best I can do is turn away and focus on the people who matter. And now this is the last one I wrote. When I see a wrong from another, it is a matter of noticing, but not calling out. That would be like saying, I am free of sin, and to only see it in others. Yeah, this is kind of like what I mentioned earlier. Everybody makes mistakes, everybody gets hypocritical, and everybody is human. It's a matter of letting them know in sensitive ways. Show concern, not anger. Yeah, so this is what I believe. Because the more Christian I become, I'm realizing that this is my belief that true Christianity is about becoming more and more self sacrificial. Now, I understand that there is controversy when it comes to things like denying ourselves or putting ourselves last, but I believe that it's the context that matters. I don't believe it's saying that the self is not important. I believe that a lot of the context of the word self is referring to things like selfishness or self righteousness. Now, I'm not saying that we are selfish people, but we all do have a selfish side to us. Even I do. I do not intend it, but there are areas in which I realize that, maybe I was thinking a little too much about myself. So, to give an example of this is, let's say that there was a death in the family and there is a funeral that we have to attend to. That is an area in which we have to put ourselves last, because I know a lot of us, we're not crazy about funerals, I get that, but it's to honor the person who passed away and to show that we care. Christianity is about our service to other people and not just ourselves. That is what I believe Christianity is about, to recognize in ways that we might be a little too focused on ourselves and to try to offer our service for other people. This is what I believe, and like I said, you're allowed to disagree with me and you're allowed to believe what you want, because I will not push anyone to follow a path that does not suit them. Please let me know what you think, and God bless.